Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Cool.
Am I
Hey,
going to hear some music?
no. How you doing, Dad?
Good.
Good. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me?
Can you dig it? Can
Mm.
you dig it? Oh man, I'm trying to do your key.
Oh,
Folks, we're on the air right now. We're on the cloud. We're on the cloud. You know what I'm saying,
sure.
guy? I'm sounding
Yeah.
like I really don't know my shit. But
It's
anyway,
okay.
how you doing,
We're
daughter?
all ever learning. Good, you know? I'm good. I'm I've been really enjoying our time together and it's fun like visiting the shows in between and being like, "Oh yeah, I totally missed that." Or I never
I'm
knew that.
digging
Or
it
um
more than I thought I would. I have to admit, it's
hey,
not so much like work. Sometimes these things can feel like work, but this doesn't.
good. Yeah, I think it, just takes a minute. Glad you got my vision. Well, it's good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I like your Muscle Shoals t-shirt.
Oh yeah, man. This is one of my all-time favorite. This is the roots I'm talking about, the R&B
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to tell you something real quick, Marty,
Yeah.
without asking me a question, I have a connection with Muscle Shoals. God, I
Show.
swear to God, I think I have allergies again, and I find that it causes me to be foggy, but whatever. I'm
I hear
happy.
you.
Anyway, Muscle Shoals is a place where a lot of R&B soul music was recorded, like Aretha Franklin. And God, I can't even think of his name. Jerry, what was the guy's name with Ahmed Erdogan? Oh my God, I can't think. Anyway, the producer. So, a long story short, there was a Muscle Shoals rhythm section.
Okay.
And like Roger Hawkins was the drummer, bad mofo.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Dwayne Allman was part of that little
Huh.
set. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I can't remember the bass player's name. I mean, I all
Yeah, I'm
apologies.
more locked in with Motown, James
Oh
Jamerson,
no, his
but
name was Hood, David Hood, I think.
mm.
Anyway, later on, there was a guy named Wayne Perkins that
Oh
was, yeah. So he recorded on Concrete Jungle, which was the Wailers, Bob Marley's first record. He recorded on the Stones' Black and Blue, and he
yeah. Mm.
recorded on Joni Mitchell's Court and Spark. Well, I did an album
Mm.
with him.
Oh, cool.
One side of the album was me with Mona, with
Mona Nader?
Sammy,
Yeah.
yeah, and a guy, and God, my brother on bass. I'm blanking right now. And then Wayne and some other, obviously Wayne, and he sang and played guitar, monster player.
Mm.
And on the flip side of the record or CD or whatever was the Muscle Shoals people, Hood and Roger Hawkins with Wayne.
Mm.
So I'm very proud of that. The record never won any place, but there were some good tracks. The man kind of had some drug issues or whatever you want to call it. But uh,
Mm-hmm.
but that isn't why I dig Muscle Shoals. That just happened to be my only connection.
It's your history to the history.
Double.
Vasislos. Well, today's theme is around moments that you almost didn't. So, like, my first question
Ooh,
is, was there a moment you almost walked away?
from what? Oh, from Boom Boom?
From Boom Boom, from drumming, from the music life.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can get personal. I guess that's what this is about. So I started my band Youngblood, which we talked about. Then
Mm.
I joined the band that I met Sammy in and just had a
Yeah.
blast. By the time I was a senior in high school, Sammy was, he had a family and he was old enough and he was playing bars. So it's not like we disconnected, but I couldn't gig with him. I was only 17 or 18.
Mm.
So, and you had to be 21 to play in the bar, certain
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
Well, actually, all bars. What am I talking about?
I can dig
So
it. Yeah.
I I don't want to get too personal, but I guess this is something to discuss, and a lot of people are coming forward with it. My sister, my older sister, had what they used to call in the old days a nervous breakdown, but
Mm,
she suffered from mental illness and she had like a psychotic episode. Tell me if I'm saying this right.
yeah.
And it happened when I was a young teenager, like 14, and I didn't really want to look at it. It scared me. It
Mm,
was sad. I loved my sister, but she lost it.
yeah.
So at that period of time, when I was a senior, I started getting involved in a little bit of drugs, smoking a lot of pot. I was even taking like what we call bennies, which is like little Benzedrine, like speed. I didn't need speed. I was already
Mhm.
crazy wired, and just
Yeah. You're dangerous
partying.
on caffeine.
I was like, yeah, I was like really partying hard, and it kind of burned me out. And I wasn't like an extreme drug addict, but
No.
I was a skinny kid, and I was already sensitive, and I had a paranoia about or a fear that because that happened to my sister, it might happen to me.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
yeah, so like a lot of people when they're in high school and they're in senior in high school, they're going to graduate. What am I going to do? Am I going to college? Am I going to do this? And at this time, there was the Vietnam War, and
Right.
I was going to get drafted. So
Yeah.
all this stuff was on me, and I decided I just had to clean up my act, and
Hmm.
the music was putting me in touch with things that weren't good for me. Not
Hmm.
music
Yeah, the
per
music
se.
scene, the
The
scene
people that I
itself.
knew were all like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not saying Sam was actually against it, but anyway, he was out of the picture and I was hanging out with some really talented lowlifes. And here's the thing, I literally now this is it sounds like a lot of tip of the hat to Sam, but this is a true story. So when he got
Yeah.
back from New York and I was like 19, pushing 20, he knocked on my mom's door and said, "Hey, bro." Well, it wasn't bro then. He goes, "Hey, Dave, I'm back now and I want to put a band together again." And we did. But at the time when he asked me, I remember thinking, "Man, I miss you, my man, and all this, but I need to get my shit together. So I'm gonna say no."
Hmm.
And what's really nice is he persisted. He kept pushing me. Like he came back in a week and go, "Come on, man, this isn't just try." Like so he sort of got me out of my funk by
Yeah.
having. So you might say that I did step away from it, and I wanted to figure out college, draft, life. But from that point, I used my brother's temporary driver's license. And it said that I was 21, which I wasn't. I was 19,
Hmm.
and we started playing. We didn't start playing bars right away, but we started a band called the Big Bang, and from there we took off.
You bang on.
It was a hard time, but after
Yeah.
that, I did not like doing any kind of stuff. Maybe once in a while, a little puff, but really just pretty much wine and beer.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I remember about you. I think that's funnily, I think that's what a lot of people get wrong about being raised, by a musician is people are like, "Oh, you must have partied." I'm like, "Well, I was in the scene and I was around the party, but you know,
Right.
you guys were pretty clean when I was growing up, and at most it was like a nice beer or not nice beer, uh,
So
wine and whatnot."
I probably gave you a
Um,
sip once in a while.
but I guess what I'm hearing, because I actually haven't heard this portion of the story before, so thank you for sharing it. I think
Yes.
how it all ties in, it's like I don't think you can ever take one snapshot of what's going on in someone's life and be like, well, this is entirely the reason, because there's so many, it's a complex mixture of things, right? Between your sister and the Vietnam War, your age. Um, but it sounds like you
Drug.
had kind of a moment of, well, I could keep going down this path, but ultimately music got you present from what I know in our story of life, right? Like, especially
Yes.
being a drummer, you got to keep time. I think of all the instruments. There's something about music as a meditation that I've often, I don't know, I guess
Right.
that's how I've looked at it for you. And
It's
I didn't
therapeutic.
realize that that was, part of the journey.
They say that I don't know if it's just particularly drums, but I know that I know sometimes like in rehab places or healing places, they do drummer circles and stuff. And
Hmm.
I know there's something about just playing, being, it's like you're in the thing, your body, you're present.
Well, you're present, right? So,
Yeah,
like, all of the best healing practices get you back in your body because your body can't be in tomorrow. It can't be yesterday. It's just right here, right?
right, right. Well,
Yeah.
that's it. Music has definitely
And I
healed
mean,
me.
my goodness, the heart is the drum. Like, I've been having my daughter lay on my heart because she's learning about it. And she's like, boom, 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 boom. And I said, yeah, that's our original drummer, right?
That's
So,
right.
no,
Amen.
I get it. I hear that. And
So that's definitely probably, I mean, there were other times I thought, oh God,
yeah.
if you want me to talk about those later, now I'm, but like,
Well, I guess here's what I'll say is I'm hearing that there was definitely a moment where you almost walked away. And it sounds like, the question I was going to ask was, did someone unexpectedly show up? Sometimes I find that tends to be the case. Sounds like,
yeah,
Sam came back from New York and came a knocking. And I guess the next question I had was, what pulled you back into being present? And I think in this case, it's the music, wanting to choose differently. It was your friend. So maybe, yeah. I mean, I feel like there was one other time that we've talked about in my life where you were really like, should I stay or should I go now? Right. And that was coming up to before you joined Sam again for Sandy
that's right.
Sultan.
Yes, that was another turning point when he joined Van Halen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think for me, you were a person that I always went to when I was kind of unsure of myself and making a decision. And because of moments like that, you had great analogies for me or great
right,
tools for me, whether it was music to listen to, books to read, or a philosophy to hold. So,
right.
maybe you could talk a little bit about
I know
that
what you're,
place that you were in before Sam
I
came
know
knocking again.
exactly. Matter of fact, that picture you held up on our last podcast where I've got long hair and I wrote, "Hey, Bean," did I say Bean?
You did. Hey, Bean,
Oh
that
God,
ship's in
ladies and
sight. Boom.
people, my daughter's nickname is Bean, Bean. And I don't mean like a frijole. I'm talking like Bambine.
It's short for baby girl in Italian. Let's just
but
Bambina, right?
anyway, out of respect, she's Ella or my daughter right now. Just like she doesn't call me bro, she calls me dad. I like that. Don't be calling me bro
It's
unless
too
in
weird.
jest. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let me tell you about that picture and my ship coming in. So basically, I was on top of the world. We just recorded VOA. I Can't Drive 55 was in hot rotation on MTV.
Hmm.
We're in the studio in our demo studio at Sam's home studio, getting ready to do another album, a fourth album for Geffen.
Hmm.
So it was the summer of 1985, and everybody knows the rest. So Eddie and his camp people got a hold of Sam somehow, and people were all auditioning as a vocalist for Van Halen. It wasn't just Sammy. There was a
Hmm.
few people they were trying out. I won't go into that. But anyway, he obviously joined Van Halen, and for a couple of years, well, it seemed like a couple of years, I had money saved, and I still felt pretty pumped up. I had a platinum album. Everybody, me, the keyboard
Yeah,
player,
what's behind you was on my walls growing up in the childhood house.
everybody. So Gary Peel got lucky and he went on to join Boston.
Hmm.
And and so
And Gary was
Jesse
your
and
guitar
I,
player with Sam's solo project on the albums behind you.
yes, yes, Gary and Bill Church were the band for Geffen for up till I Can't Drive 55.
Hmm.
Anyway, so me and Jesse, the keyboard player, we tried putting a couple bands together. There was a girl from New
Oh,
York. Now,
yeah.
all this time, yeah,
I'm at
Sherry
Sherry,
Brandon.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
check it
That's
out.
really good.
Just for people's reference point, John Kalodner, the guy on I Can't Drive 55, that's the judge.
In the music
The guy
video.
on Dude Looks Like a Lady that's dressed in a
Oh
wedding
yeah, the
gown,
Aerosmith
long
video.
hair, glasses, Jewish guy, great guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that signed Sam. So he
Okay.
loved the band. So when Sam joined Van Halen, Kolodner actually foot the bill with Geffen for me and members of the former band to, you're not going to replace Sammy, but to start something else and
Yeah,
see
have a
what
different project.
we got close. The closest thing we had was Dave Amato on guitar, who's now with REO Speedwagon, and a guy named Ricky Phillips who played with the Babies and a number of people, and he's in Styx right now. Both these guys are fantastic players. I mean, they're like killer.
Mhm.
And then Jesse was he wrote most of the material,
Jesse Harms
and
on keys.
Jesse
Yeah.
Harms did, yeah. So anyway, that went on for a while, and while we're all doing that, there ain't no money coming in.
Yeah.
So Sam owed Geffen, he had a 4 album deal, so
Right.
that the album I Never Said Goodbye. Let me
Right.
see.
That's what has Eagles Fly and Give to Live, or I'm trying to remember.
This album,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
I just was going to I autographed this recently for a really close friend, and I was going to send
Hmm.
it to him. I won't go into
Cool.
that right now. Anyway, this album came after 5150, and Sam was gracious enough. He had me and Jesse play on it. And
Yeah.
then to keep things politically correct, he had Eddie play bass, not Bill Church or not somebody else, not Alan Fitzgerald, but
Right.
he used Eddie, and Sam played all the guitars and sang, and we
Wow.
had some backup, but there were some guest appearances, but basically it was the Sammy Hagar band with Eddie on bass.
Oh wow,
So
I
in
didn't
other
realize that.
it was political. In other words, not political for Geffen. Well,
Hmm.
probably. In other words, he didn't want to send a message that he was like Van Halen when Sam joined, they took off. So
Right.
he didn't want to
It was
cloud
honoring the momentum of what was happening, right?
exactly. He didn't want to murky the waters as
No, that makes
you
perfect sense. I think
yeah.
that was a really smart move. I guess I
No,
just
John.
never realized that Eddie was on bass all this time. I knew that he was working with you on that project, so I remember meeting him. Um,
Yes.
so sweet, you know.
So check it
Um,
out.
yeah,
Jumping
tell me.
forward now. Now I'm in a bunch of different at this point I'm living in Northern California. I grew up in Southern California. I don't really know anybody. I've been on the road for 5 years or 4 years, right?
Right, right,
I don't,
right.
why would I be hanging out? I didn't go to bars and hang out like I used to. When I was off the road, I was with my family. The
Yeah,
last thing I wanted to do was go to, I mean, once in a while I jam with people. But anyway,
yeah.
I didn't know anybody and I kind of like got into a funk and I started taking day jobs, a lot of different day jobs. And one in particular, and keep me on track. I
Yeah,
don't want to do too much.
yeah. We
That's
got a
fine.
little bit of time, but yeah, let's bring it in. What, tell me.
Okay, so check it out. At the time, my mom was ill during all this,
Yeah.
and she had a fatal illness. She was actually diagnosed with ALS. Lou Gehrig's disease. It was awful. I mean, but she was still happening, but the clock was ticking.
Yeah.
So I wasn't making any money. Jackie, your mom, my wife at the time, said, "You know what? You're not working. You just made that record with Sammy. You made a little money.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go down and visit with your mom for a while?" And I thought to myself, now at the time I knew that Sammy's brother-in-law, James Harrell, had an electrical company. He was a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a lot so I just basically I ballsed out and called up James, said, "James, I'm going to come down and stay with my mom for a while." It was like in Southern California, and I'd like to get some work. I've never done this. I'm a pretty quick study. Pay me
Yeah.
what you want. If I fuck
Cool.
up, then I'll quit. I became an
Wow.
electrician. Yeah.
Wow.
And I
An
did it.
apprentice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of the houses in Rancho Cucamonga and Fontana, I hope they're good. But check it out. So, it's funny. It was humbling because I remember while I was working on the crew, a lot of the guys were way younger than me. I was in my mid 30s. I was like
Yeah.
35.
Ooh.
And one day we'd be working and a guy go, "Wow, Lauser, I saw you at the Cow Palace, man. You guys are rocking. Hand me that
Yeah.
screwdriver." You know.
Yeah. Humble pie on a platter. Yeah.
So here's the deal. I got good
Yeah.
at it. I started making more money. They gave me a raise. I asked for it because I felt like I was worth it. I was kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back up north after my mom passed,
Mm-hmm.
and I started calling around people and looking for work as
Mm-hmm.
an electrician. And I
Mm-hmm.
explained what I did. And they were like, "You sound like you got it." I said, "I don't have a license or anything, but I can work for a company." So I got one company wanted to hire me at the time. It was like $50 an hour. And this is 1988.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's not bad for starting out.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm being too candid, but what the hell, right?
Yeah.
So I thought about it after working for Sammy's brother-in-law. When I got off work after 10 hours, I wanted to just hit the couch, crack a beer, and watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, if you do this, you're not gonna play music anymore. You're gonna really get out of touch with your drumming. When I was
Mm.
living down at my mom's uh, and working for Harold, I actually was still practicing and auditioning for people. But
I remember because I would come down and be with you for weeks at a time.
yeah, I auditioned for Billy Idol and stuff. That
I
went
remember that. I
almost
was very
well.
excited about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So it's like I still was trying, and I was working out,
Yeah.
but working part-time, I mean full-time and practicing was a bitch. So I said to
Mm-hmm.
myself, okay, if I take this job and I get comfortable and I can buy my little girl new shoes,
Yeah.
and I keep the wife happy, I think I'll step away,
Yeah.
whether I like it or not. It'll just be too hard doing this. You got to be dedicated,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
whatever level your dedication is. So I remember telling my wife at the time, Jackie, I said, and I saw this show, basically I read and saw a show interview with Joseph Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
And the
On
main thing that he
PBS.
said, I think I've told you this,
Yeah, this was a
in
huge moment
life,
for me in my learning, for sure.
what's that?
This moment that you're about to share I often come back to. So please
Yeah.
continue.
So here I was, confused, conflicted, stressed,
Yeah.
got to make money, love music, but I can really make easy money for me. And I like building stuff. It wasn't like a bummer. I like being an electrician.
Hmm.
Uh, this, this, this guy, Joseph Campbell, who basically inspired the whole Star Wars thing. People don't even know that, but this
Yeah.
he's a professor. He's a philosopher. He's just awesome.
Yeah.
His whole thing was in life, listen to your voice, follow your bliss.
Hmm.
If you follow what you really love, no matter what it is, you're going to be okay. And I
Hmm.
saw that and went, oh shit, man, I can't give this up. So I remember, in a marriage, when you're not making money and stuff, it can put pressure on the marriage. I remember as soon as I went to my wife and said, you know what? I made a decision. I'm not going to go to work as an electrician. I'm going to try to get back in the groove with this no matter what it
Yeah.
takes. And even though that wasn't what she wanted to hear,
Hmm.
it, it made her chill. Sorry about that. I need to learn how to turn my computer phone off.
It's okay. Nothing. I can't hear anything on my end.
Good, good, good.
But
Anyway, and what happened? I decided to go to the nearest. I thought, okay, where am I going to find musicians? So I went to all the music stores and said, who are the teachers? Because I taught for a while, And what did I do? I met a guitar player that taught, and da 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 da. And I started teaching. And by
Hmm.
teaching, when you're in a studio where people are renting like five, six, seven, eight studios, it's like you're all the bands are there.
Hmm.
So I was teaching drums, to coaching more.
Hmm.
I met different musicians, and from there, I was like in four bands. And by doing that, when Sam got out of Van Halen, my chops were up,
Hmm. Well, and we're
really
gonna
up.
have to jump into some of those chops and some
Yeah, I
moments
tell
that were
you what,
pretty
I
cool, you
was
know.
playing. Honestly, I grew as a musician because
Yeah.
it wasn't like I didn't work hard for Sammy's band, but like playing different styles. I was in a Irish band, for Christ's
I
sake.
was there for that too.
I remember
St.
they were
Patrick's Day,
they
falling
loved
asleep in
you.
the back leather couch,
Oh my
listening to it
God.
all.
I'd say to the owner, he goes, "Oh, it's okay. You have your daughter. She, how did you
I was
say it?"
your roadie. I was your
No.
I was at a lot of those rough gigs, you know.
I remember the
So
waitress hear you in the they'd shut the back the restaurant, so you got to hang there and maybe take a nap or just
yeah.
watch
Yeah.
because you couldn't be in the bar, but the restaurant
No.
was, yeah. And we
I made
were
friends with a lot
playing.
of bass players' girlfriends. You know, but I was
Yeah,
in really unique situations as a kid that was different than backstage, even though we were going to shows, at Shoreline and things and supporting Sam and seeing all the things going down to Cabo. Um, it gave me a different perspective, and I don't think a lot of people know that part of that story. So we'll have to jump into some of those details in the next episode.
you're talking about the bizarre bands.
The bizarre bands, the bizarre moments, and how I
There's
bought you dinner one time because it was in a
Let me just
contest that
tell it
you were
real
gigging.
quick.
What?
I was playing with this 50s, they were like the Stray Cats. The guy
Uh-huh.
actually had a stand-up bass,
But they weren't as cool.
Oh. I don't, some people may hear this, so I can't say
I
what
know
you,
it's not offense, but to me, it was not the vibe.
Dad, this guy sounds like a wheezing goat. I'm
I
like,
did. I
that's,
said that. I wasn't going to say it on here, but you
oh,
can quote me.
anyway,
It was true.
there was a good guitar player that was playing in one of the other bands I was working with,
Yeah.
who was a good blues guitar player. And there
Okay.
was the guy with the stand-up bass, and they were doing like old 50s, like, what would you call it? Rockabilly,
Mm-hmm.
dun, 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 whatever.
Not
Uh,
quite, but yes. Go on.
Elvis, whatever, country rock, whatever. So I was playing at this fair, and like, of course, I brought you with me because it was
Mm.
summertime and your mom was in school, and I want to leave you alone. Come on, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
And they had a home run derby or the longest, who could hit the longest ball for their age bracket.
Yeah.
And I said, why don't you try it out? So you go over, it's softball, right?
Mhm. I think it was baseball. I don't know. It was one of the two.
It's softball, wasn't a hard ball.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. All I know is you were like 10,
I was. It was
11.
in the 10 and up section.
You were in middle school or whatever, or elementary school,
Elementary. Yep.
and you hit the freaking ball out in the outfield, and you won the prize.
Yep.
Because of you, we went to what was that rib place we used to go to?
It was a steak joint. And you told me that dinner cost more than the gig paid you.
No, no, almost, yeah. But
Yeah,
I'll never
with
forget
gas for
the
sure.
guy that was the coach that was holding this thing for all the kids and everything.
Hmm.
Hey, she's got a good swing. She has a really good swing. Like she had like a Rod Carew swing. I'm like, oh my God. So that's that story. Enough of that.
It's true.
Yeah, we had ribs.
We did.
Thank you for dinner, by the way,
You're
the lunch.
welcome. It was my pleasure to treat. I love you, Dad. Well, real quick, let's roll out with a song to go along with today's theme.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go first because I've had a moment to think about it. I don't want to be too on the nose, but don't give up. Kate Bush, Peter Gabriel, always a favorite. But
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with
chill.
Saul Williams. I'm gonna go with Saul Williams, who you're probably not hip to. Spoken word artist, has a track where he sings and it has a full band and it is, in your terms, blooded. I mean, it is one of the best tracks. Whenever I'm really in a place where I'm in indecision and frustration and not so sure, or I just want something to kind of bring my mood up, Saul Williams, Wine, Wine. Long
That's
track,
the song.
worth the listen. Yes. Yes. That's for me.
W what?
Wine. The new
Why?
wine is dying on the vine. How much must you age before you're ageless is the opening
But
lines.
it's like WINE
Yeah,
wine,
drinking wine.
not
Yes.
WHINE.
Correct, correct. Not whining, dining, whining. All right.
So
What
that's
about
the
you?
one. Why did you bring up Kate Bush?
Well, because the theme's about not giving up, right? It's about moments that you
Oh, yeah,
almost
yeah, yeah,
quit.
yeah.
And I felt like I love Kate Bush, and we can talk about her too, and Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins, but I digress. I think Don't Give Up is a great listening for moments of being in transition. And for me to bring it up a notch and get back into your body and feel alive beyond Don't Give Up, Kate Bush. Wine, Saul Williams.
What?
Those are my tracks. What's one of
Yeah.
yours? What's a track
Oh,
for you that you go to
oh
or
God, you
what that
took.
you would assign to this theme?
Well, you already took Kate, so I can't use that. But that is one. I have to admit, when you said that, I love that track.
Well, let's stick with it. I didn't know that you were really big fan of her, but take it away.
Stai
Ah,
hold on.
ho capito, ho capito.
Stai G.
Yeah, testa
I'm trying
dura.
to think. What's I swear to God,
Come
it
on
bothers.
back.
It does, I know the phone keeps ringing. Man, when you said Kate Bush, okay, what's a song?
Around moments you almost walked away and someone pulled you
There's
back
so
in.
many. You know what? This is so silly. I'm almost embarrassed to say. This is what popped in my head because I
Oh,
listen to all kinds of radio.
yeah.
I can see clearly now the
The
rain is
rain is
gone.
gone. All right.
What's
All
his name?
obstacles in my
Passed
way.
away. He just passed.
Yeah.
There's so many for Christ. I mean, there's
Well,
no
let's
way.
just stick. If hey, I saw the chills hit you. Like, let's just be with the truth of that. So we'll just say Kate Bush. I can see clearly. Well, Kate Bush. Don't give
Who did?
up.
I can see her. What was
I
his
can see
name?
clearly now. I can't remember right now, but we can check that later.
Oh no, 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 go crazy if I can't think of it. Oh no, 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 he's Jamaican. Oh,
No, I think
Jimmy
you're thinking.
Cliff.
Okay.
Jimmy Cliff. Is it Jimmy Cliff? No, that's not Jimmy Cliff.
I can honestly say I do not know, and I don't own that track.
Something. All right. This is it. We're done.
Yeah, we got to reel it in. We got
So,
to hit up cocktail hour.
okay, that was fun. That was good. I just starting to get warmed up. I guess we need to do this again.
I think so.
Don't give up.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, daughter.